Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia. Now when we left off, we had defended a numerous amount of fiefs from the Nords and attempting, obviously, to take as many of them as we can prisoner so that they will not interfere with our skirmishes with the dwarves, because we are now at Hordes Castle. I was on my way to Kral Castle, as I stated in the previous episode. I thought it may be a good idea to attempt to take that. But, as you can see, we have King Loke, and beside him we have Rochabath, and they are both attempting to take Hordes Castle. Now, I was able to get by King Loke. He attempted to intercept us, however, but nevertheless, we did make it in here, and as you can see, he does have a huge amount of dwarven champions and paragons. So, I can only hope that once we begin waiting here for some time, that... oh, wow. That is very strange indeed. I was not expecting that. Okay, well, it appears that King Loke has completely fled the scene, and... wow. We are free to, I suppose, take on Rochabath and potentially take him prisoner? That would be wonderful. Hopefully make it so that the dwarven vassals, or at least the very few vassals that the dwarves have, will not be able to do too much at all. And oh my goodness, it appears that my vassals have turned up and are taking him on. Well, this is rather amusing. Okay, well, I really do want to let them just get on with it, because they do need to get a little bit of renown, and if I help, then they won't get any, I don't think. So, let's just see how it goes for them. And there it is. Look at that. Rochabath of the Norcrack realm has been taken prisoner by the Realm of Shadows. Now, there has been a rather significant change in our loadout, specifically with Arkane, and that is, of course, that I now have some advanced plate armor as well as this dread hood equipped. I also bought some hourglass gauntlets as well to hopefully mix the look up and make it a little bit more protective for our purposes. I have kept our dread robe just in case, but at this time this is probably going to be the greatest defense that we have against a dwarven onslaught perhaps, or indeed Nords. So, yes, that will be fine for that. One of you did state that I should take a look at the Blazing Hand lands, or at least you did give a whole list of very useful items indeed, and I decided, oh, look at that item. That's at the Blazing Hand territory, and I thought, oh yes, I'll head over there and attempt to buy it, and I was able to buy this piece of armor, which I believe is not exactly the one that you were talking about, but it was the best I could get, and I bought it for 17,000 dinars, which I thought was a rather cheap amount in comparison to the highest level of armor that was available there, and that was, I believe, 41,000, and unfortunately it did not have any magical properties or anything like that. So this is the best I could get for now, and we will hopefully be able to find more advanced suits of armor as we go along. So, other than that, I have changed our army composition rather considerably. As you can see here, we do have some Nord-trained footmen, some Nord warriors, dwarven fighters, a lot of infantry, I think you might see. We have 23 Nord veterans. I went around to all of the various Nord villages that we obviously have control over, and recruited a lot of recruits from there. Now, I have leveled them up rather considerably, but I do not believe they're going to be enough to take on King Loke in a field battle. So, yes, I was actually hoping that they would head in here at Hordes Castle, but it appears that our vassals were able to foil his plans, or at least Rochabath's plans, and King Loke headed off in this direction. I'm not entirely sure why he did that, because he had, I believe, 270 units, and wow, a huge amount of those against us is probably going to be very good for him, but it appears that even though I would really like to siege Tharok's Gate, I would really like to head on to Kral Castle, so I will be cutting away here, and I will take a look at Tharok's Gate, and if they are, well, less than 600 units, then maybe I will decide to head in, but as you see, we only have 126, so I think the castle down here is probably a better bet. So, I will see you soon. Okay, so after having scouted Farrock's Gate and Kral Castle, I have decided that potentially they would be a little bit too difficult for us at the moment, so I am deciding to siege Ribulay Castle instead, and we will attempt to limit the field of influence that the Nords have, because I did notice a couple of vassals around this area, and they were not very decisive at all. They were just milling about there, not really doing too much. So I thought, oh well, I will just leave them to it, and we are going to be heading on to one of their fiefs. Now, Kral Castle in particular was rather tempting to me because they didn't have any paragons whatsoever. Well, they had 3, but yes, that's really nothing to worry about in my opinion. They did, however, have 67 dwarven champions, so I think we may need to increase our Huskar count, or at least maybe even focus on the Kingdom of the Nords generally, and then we will be able to wipe them out, and maybe then we will be able to deal with the morale issues that are currently plaguing our party. As you can see, we have average morale, but it is going to be going down very, very quickly indeed, so let us head in here as quickly as we can and build a siege tower. Really? How long is this going to take? 90 hours? No, I cannot spend 90 hours. Okay, we're going to go to Praven instead then. Praven instead, let's do it. We have to go all the way over there, and hopefully it will be a ladder town. There is another Nord vassal right there. Hopefully he will not see fit to interrupt us. I have a bad feeling that... oh, King Ragnar is around here. Oh, that's not going to be good. Okay, it appears this fellow is coming over here, and oh my. Okay, this doesn't have very many troops in it at all, but they do have quite a considerable amount of mages, so I think our Nord units may take quite a battering from them. However, Lord Play is here in the prison tower. Oh no, that is not good. Well, we will be heading in here, and we will be building the ladders in 9 hours. This is not good. As you can see, we are having the morale issues, but hopefully we will be able to gain a significant amount of renown from our victory, if indeed we do win. I would like to win, and whoa, okay, that was very close indeed. It appears that there were 2 vassals, maybe even King Ragnar himself approaching us, so let us head in and see how we do. With very few mages indeed. I have not taken too many mages because I was assuming that I would do a little more engagement and indeed skirmishes with the Dwarven faction, and I decided that mages were, yes, let's just say, less than useful in comparison to more infantry to combat their Dwarven paragons. So hopefully this will be the way it goes, and I do have some more Blazing Hand units, as one of you suggested. Now, many of you did state very many useful comments, so I will hopefully be able to employ most of them. I will not mention all of you, because of course there are so many, but thank you very much to those of you that left helpful comments, and we will then attempt to get up here. Now, I would like to switch to my... oh no. Don't fall off here. Don't fall off here. My magic defense is coming into its own here. It appears that I'm not taking too much damage from it at all, and that was what I was afraid of. Yep, that was what I was afraid of. Absolutely that. Okay, well, you will suffer my wrath. My lightning bolts will hopefully fry you and take you down as quickly as you potentially want to die, but yes, it appears that we are getting quite a few kills as a result. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, there we are. That is, I suppose that, well, actually, 110 enemies still? Okay, that's what happens, I suppose, when you don't have too many archers and indeed mages. Wow. Okay, well, it appears that I am the only mage that I have to assist our units more than I would potentially want to before, but this is the old school style of sieging castles and towns. Come on, let's just try to make ourselves incredibly accurate. Yes, please. Oh my goodness. Well, we're taking out quite a few units as a result, and it doesn't appear that I have lost that much power in terms of unequipping my robe, so that's actually pretty nice. I would really like it if we could find that Twilight armor, maybe even a couple of other pieces, but yes, I have not had too much time to do that. I would like to hopefully take out these 2 factions and then maybe have an era of peace, at least, a little bit. Oh my. That reminds me, I probably should have used our mages a little bit higher up in the troop screen, because now they are just going to be introduced at the end. So that's not going to be too good. We've only lost 7 units, and they have 10 enemies remaining. So, yes, I think we should be okay to pull out a victory here. Now, the only thing I can kind of hope for is the fact that I stop falling off this ladder. No. Well, yes, not that. But the only thing I can really hope for is that King Ragnar is not the one incoming to our current location. So let us see. 37 morale, which is absolutely amazing. Really, really necessary here. And we lost 4 dwarven paragons, which is not necessarily the greatest thing to happen. But we are able to take Jarl Iria prisoner. And Jarl Sudun. Now, I would like to let him go because, as you can see, he already has a positive relation. However, we are a necromancer, and I would like to limit the Nords as much as possible. But, in theory, if we weaken the Nords enough, we may get some defectors. So I think I will let him go, and hope that he will join us. And speaking of people that don't really like us, this is one of our own vassals, Lord Play, and he got taken prisoner. So, thankfully enough, he is now up to -3. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting to find him here, to be honest. I thought he was taken prisoner by the dwarves. Oh well, nevertheless, there we are. That is fine, and we are now able to take quite a few rescued prisoners. What are they going to be, though? I would like to take Nord units as much as I can, but of course, their morale issues are going to affect us sooner rather than later. And I suppose, what else could we go for? Let's go for some greater mercenary mages, I guess. Mages are always good. Nord footmen as well. Why not? Okay, we do need to lose one of these because I do want to get some skeletons, or indeed shadows. It would be wonderful to get some shadows. And otherwise, I think we will just take some of these. I really don't use the ransom brokers enough, I think, but I am gaining 13,000 dinars per week because, as I said in the previous episode, I did give some of the fiefs, indeed Sargoth, Tyr, and one of the castles to myself, so I am gaining a suitable amount. Now, one of you did mention that it may be a good idea to give the villages surrounding Tyr to various vassals so that they will be able to patrol around there. And that is exactly what I did, and it appears that it has worked successfully because, as you could see there, 3 of our vassals turned up to fight. Who was it again? Rochabath. Yes, that's it. And that was very successful, so I am very pleased about that. Now, I will be, again, deferring appointment of a lord because I would like it to be garrisoned immediately. And now, who is that? It is King Ragnar, but he is incredibly diminished in terms of his army size. Well, I suppose that is what happens when you go against the Realm of Shadows for quite some time. So, there we are. 72 zombies will be our reward for that previous skirmish. We will be placing them in here, and then leveling up a couple more of our other units. So, that is wonderful. I may want to actually get a Nord Shaman at some point, but yes, for now I will just be placing these fellows in the prisoner hold. And I would like to check out to see whether they have anything amazing. Okay, no magical items as far as I can tell. You did tell me about some gloves that are able to heal units. Not entirely sure on the details, but you did mention quite a few things about it, and I was hoping I could find those, but unfortunately that will not be the case. In this particular episode, at least. You did mention the Dagger of Throwing. I have one of those, but oh well. I'm not able to use it to greatest effect just yet because I don't have a lot of power throw. But, it doesn't appear that there are too many things here. I would like to get some more food, so let's see if we can just sell a couple of items here and then buy some food to hopefully rectify most of our morale issues, although most of these do not give any morale at all. In terms of +1 morale. Oh, it's not too good. Well, nevertheless, we will be heading on, and King Ragnar is probably going to come back. Yes, he is. Okay. Well, we will defeat him for a, 10th time now? I'm not entirely sure, but yes, I will let him siege this, just so that we can potentially take him prisoner. It would be wonderful if we could. If he escapes, however, then I suppose it won't be too bad. But yes, there we are. Okay, we have gained... Oh, it's actually 20,000. Okay, it appears Sargoth is paying out like nothing else. That is wonderful. So there we are, 20,000 dinars for us. Very cool indeed. And who is that? That's a Delthusum Empire vassal. What is he doing all the way up here? I suppose he does own this castle, which is rather amusing. He's all the way up here. And now Lady Matheld was taken prisoner by the Kingdom of the Nords. I'm not entirely sure what other vassals there would be in the Nord Kingdom now that are running around, because surely Lady Matheld would be able to take on anyone. King Ragnar has 98, so the other vassals must have around 40. Although Lady Matheld, saying that, does only have 26. So, yeah, that's not too good. Oh, there we are! Jarl Aiden of the Kingdom of Nords was taken prisoner by the Realm of Shadows. That is wonderful. Okay, that is great to see. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. And I'm actually just wondering, should I place some of my Nord units in the garrison here? That might actually be a smart play. Shall we do it? I think we'll do it for now, until he decides what he's going to do, because they're bringing down our morale generally, so it would be wonderful if we could just let them go in there for a little bit, and then we will see what King Ragnar decides. I didn't want to scare him off, you see. If I place more units in the garrison, then of course we're going to have more issues with him potentially not even trying to head in here. I'm actually wondering whether he's even building something. Is he? It said he was sieging it, and oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, yep, he is going to stay there as well. So, yes, it appears I do have some Nord-trained footmen in here as well. I neglected to change those. Okay, well, we do have a vassal nearby. I'm wondering who this is, to be honest. We will see shortly, I suppose. Kingdom of Rhodoks and the elves have made an alliance, or at least they have made peace. And now we just await the Nord vassal's decision. Oh, it appears this fellow was the Lord of Praven before I took it right there, because if you see, his banner was exactly the same as the one that was flying above Praven. So that is always interesting to see. And there's a Swadian vassal passing through. I'm wondering who this is, to be honest. Jarl Rayek. Ah, I don't believe we have fought him before. Well, nevertheless, they will be entering soon. Okay, so we have a rather curious situation going on here. As you can see, we have Jarl Rayek and King Ragnar actually running away from Praven's walls. Not entirely sure why they would want to do such a thing, but maybe what has occurred is that Ribile Castle is coming under siege by someone. But yes, I am actually not aware of anything going on like that, so not entirely sure what's going on there. So yes, as you can see, I was just waiting here and they decided to flee. So it appears that we have gotten away with our very cheeky siege of Praven, and unfortunately we were not able to gather a more decisive resolution to our vassal problem in terms of taking care of King Ragnar. So I will be ending this episode off here, and next time on Phantasy Calradia I will have hopefully dealt with Ribile Castle by maybe leveling up a companion's engineering skill a little bit, or maybe potentially getting Artimena to rejoin our party, because I believe he does have 3 or maybe even 4 in engineering, and I think that would be rather useful to us at the moment. As I say that, we just have news that the Order of the Blazing Hand has just taken Barrii from the Delthusum Empire, so it appears that maybe the Blazing Hand will be the ones to watch later down the line. Well, nevertheless, I will end this off here. I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.